Welcome to the Explainer. You know, it's pretty shocking, but literally billions of dollars are lost every single year to phone and text scams. Today, we're going to break down the psychology behind these deceptions, specifically the ones targeting older adults. We'll look at the exact tactics scammers use to sneak past our natural defenses. And don't worry, by the end of this Explainer, you're going to have the practical tools to spot these tricks from a mile away.
So, it's a question we hear all the time, right? Why do smart, careful people fall for scams? There's this huge misconception out there that only gullible folks get tricked. But honestly, that just isn't true. Really intelligent, cautious people become victims every single day. And why is that? Well, it's because scammers are highly trained professionals. They're experts at manipulating human emotions, building false trust, and just weaponizing confusion. They aren't hoping you're foolish. They're actually relying on basic human psychology.
I think this quote perfectly hits the nail on the head. It's like a professional magician fooling an audience. The trick works because the deception is carefully practiced. We really need to strip away the shame of falling for a scam. If you've been targeted, you've got to understand that these are highly rehearsed illusions. They test these scripts thousands of times. Falling for it isn't a sign of gullibility. It's just the result of a calculated performance designed to completely bypass your logic.
Okay, let's jump right into Section 1, the illusion of trust.
So before a scammer can even ask you for a single dime, they first have to put on a believable costume. They want you to think they have authority. Scammers can easily manipulate technology so that a phone call or a text looks like it's coming straight from your bank, like Bank of America. Or maybe the local police, a government agency, or even a family member. It's a trick called spoofing, and it basically lets them hide behind a mask of absolute authority.
I really love this analogy because it captures the threat perfectly. It's like a thief wearing a stolen name tag. Just because you recognize the name printed on the tag doesn't mean you can trust the person wearing it. Because caller ID can be faked so effortlessly nowadays, you can absolutely never trust a caller simply because the name or number on your screen looks legit. The screen on your phone? It's just no longer proof of identity.
Which brings us to Section 2, creating fake emergencies.
All right, so once they have that mask of authority on, they drop a crisis right into your lap. Picture this. You're enjoying a quiet morning, maybe tending to the garden, and suddenly your phone buzzes. A text arrives out of nowhere saying your bank account is frozen. Or maybe it's an urgent call claiming there's a huge problem with a package delivery. It's totally designed to shock your system. Usually, there's a suspicious link or a really demanding instruction to stay on the line immediately.
The really crucial part here is understanding why they do this. Think of it like a burglar pulling a fire alarm before breaking in. If a scammer falsely claims a family member is hurt, arrested, or in some sort of imminent danger, their ultimate goal is to trigger an adrenaline rush. When your heart is pounding, you're going to react emotionally before you even have a second to think clearly or logically evaluate their story. For them, your panic is their absolute greatest asset.
It's exactly like someone pounding on your front door, yelling for help. They want you to react impulsively. They want you to just instinctively click that link in the text message or act immediately on the phone. But you've got to resist that urge. Never, ever click suspicious links in text messages. Instead, just close the message, open up your web browser or your official banking app, and go directly to the official source yourself. You've got to take the control right back into your own hands.
Let's move along to Section 3, the fisherman's trap.
Now, while some scammers use panic, others use a slow, highly methodical strategy to build false trust and isolate you. You'd probably expect a criminal to sound, aggressive or suspicious. But a lot of impersonators, like fake Medicare reps or fake tech support agents, they act incredibly patient, kind, and professional. They practice these conversations over and over again to sound believable. Why? Because a confident, reassuring voice lowers your natural guard.
And this ties right into a very manipulative tactic. It's literally like a fisherman slowly reeling in a fish. Trust is the bait. You've got to be extremely cautious when strangers over the phone or online become unusually personal, overly friendly, or highly interested in your finances way too quickly. Genuine trust takes time to build. If someone is trying to create deep trust rapidly out of nowhere, they are almost certainly baiting a hook.
These scammers, they're looking for specific vulnerabilities. They kind of act like predators, wandering through a neighborhood, just testing for unlocked doors. They'll repeatedly call older adults, really hoping to find someone who lives alone, someone who might feel a bit isolated, maybe distracted, or just unsure about modern technology. They're looking for that opening, a conversational unlocked door where they can just slip right in and establish that false connection. So here's a crystal clear way to tell the difference. Scammers often act like schoolyard bullies. They use threats, shame, or embarrassment to try and isolate you. They'll loudly demand payment via retail gift cards or immediate wire transfers. But listen, a legitimate, honest organization, like your real bank or a government agency, they will never use fear or humiliation to force you into immediate action. And they are definitely never going to ask you to pay a serious legal fine using Target or Apple gift cards over the phone. No way.
So, how do we actually fight back? Let's dive into Section 4, Your Best Defense. Now that we've exposed the psychology and the tactics behind these tricks, let's talk about your practical habits. Good news is, you don't need to be a tech genius to stop a scammer. This is arguably the most important concept in this entire explainer. Scammers only succeed when you feel rushed, isolated, or afraid, which means your absolute greatest defense mechanism is to simply slow down. It's like stopping at a red light before entering an intersection, right? A short pause can prevent a serious accident. The scammer wants you speeding, but you have the power to hit the brakes.
If you commit to these 3 really basic steps before ever sending money or sharing any personal information, the scammer's entire illusion just falls apart completely. Step 1, pause. Take a breath. Step 2, verify the story independently. Step 3, ask someone you trust for their opinion. It really is just that straightforward.
And here's a crucial reminder, especially for those of us raised to always mind our manners, you do not owe strangers your time, your attention, your personal information, or your politeness over the phone. If a frantic caller claims your grandchild has been arrested or is in the hospital and needs money immediately, just hang up. Verify that family emergency story directly by calling your loved one yourself using a trusted phone number you already have saved in your contacts.
Finally, if you think you've been targeted, or even if you actually lost money to a scam, never let embarrassment keep you silent. Remember that magician's trick we talked about? It's literally designed to fool you. Contact your bank and local authorities immediately. By speaking up and reporting these crimes, you are actively helping to protect others in your community from falling victim to the exact same trap.
I want to leave you with a final thought, and maybe a little bit of homework. Do you have a trusted person you can verify stories with today? Take a moment right now, as this explainer wraps up, to decide who that trusted person is in your life. Whether it's a daughter, a son, a neighbor, or just a really good friend, decide right now. That way, you're completely prepared to pause and ask them for help the very next time an urgent, unexpected message arrives on your phone. Stay safe out there, stay skeptical, and always remember to just slow down.